Hi, welcome. My name is Esty. I'm going to be doing a voiceover because my house was noisy the day that I filmed this. I'm going to be talking about Oprah's interview with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Beware, there will be some spoilers ahead because I'm going to be talking about the interview and my interpretations and opinions. So, the first thing I want to talk about is meeting the Queen and how Meghan confused celebrity with royalty. So when Meghan is in her courtship with Prince Harry, she doesn't do research on the royal family. She wants to get to know the family through Harry and through her own experiences. On the first night of meeting the Queen, Harry asks Meghan if she knows how to curtsy, and she doesn't. So they end up spending some time practicing to curtsy before Meghan goes in to meet the Queen. So Meghan is quite confused on curtsying and the formalities because this is something pretty new to her. And this is a quote directly from the interview. She says, "I thought genuinely that that was what happens outside. I thought that that was part of the fanfare. I didn't think that's what happens inside." She said to Harry, "But it's your grandmother." And he said, "It's the Queen." So, as an American, I see how it would be weird to hold so much reverence for a political figure. And at the end of the day, royal or not, everyone in that family is just a human like everyone else. So I could see why she just wanted to have experiences with them as a normal family, as Harry's extended family, and get to know them as individuals and not really see them in the lens of royalty or politicians. So I totally get her on that front. Alright, so we're on the second topic, which is the demonization of Meghan in the tabloids. So Oprah brings up a story in the British tabloids that says that Meghan made Kate cry. But Meghan clears up the allegation and says that the opposite occurred. Meghan says that Kate apologized and sent a note and a gift to make amends, and Meghan actually forgave her and the two moved on. But then, 7 months later, the story hits the tabloids, and in the story, Meghan is the one who's the aggressor and not Kate, as it happened in the original story. So Meghan says to Oprah, she says, "What was shocking was that 6 or 7 months after our wedding, the reverse of what would be out in the world." So the report suggesting Meghan made Kate cry. I would have never wanted that to come out about her, even after it had happened. I protected that from ever being out in the world. A few days before the wedding, she was upset about a flower girl dress issue, and it made me cry, and it really hurt my feelings. And I thought, in context of everything else that was going on in those days leading up to the wedding, that it didn't make sense to not be doing what everyone else was doing, which was being supportive. So Meghan and Kate had some weird disagreement over flower girl dresses, which seems mundane enough. You know, that's normal. That happens all the time between friends. I think it's fishy that the tabloids went and made Meghan and Kate up in like enemies of some sort. Like they wanted to put them in opposition of each other, especially since later on Prince Harry says that the institution and the tabloids have a symbiotic relationship, meaning that there could be some agenda behind making Meghan out to be this angry, mean person. Like, there had to be a reason to do that had to serve some kind of agenda, and I'm not sure what that is, and I'm not here to speculate, but it seems that in a lot of instances, Kate is made to be angelic and like the perfect Duchess, and then Meghan is made out to be problematic. And you see a lot of instances and examples of this in the interview. So I urge you to watch it if you want the specific instances. Okay, so we're entering the third topic, which gets worse, and from now on it will continue to get worse. So the third topic is that Archie is not given the prince title. So when asked why he wasn't given the prince title, Meghan says that the reasons were never explicitly specified to her. However, a family member of Prince Harry's did make a comment about Meghan and Harry's kids and what they will look like, specifically what their skin color will be, since they are going to be mixed race children. And I don't know about you, but that really doesn't sit well with me. I think that's a disgusting comment to make, especially now in 2021. I mean, it's always been disgusting, but I just can't believe someone would say that out loud. So Meghan makes it known in the interview that she isn't worried about the title because of vanity or anything like that. She doesn't really care about the status. She's more so worried about Archie's security, because if he isn't a prince, he isn't going to be afforded the same security. He will actually have no security, which will make him vulnerable, of course. I wanted to include a quote from Meghan. She says, "If it meant he was going to be safe, of course. All the grandeur around this stuff is an attachment I don't have. The most important title I will ever have is mom." And she's referring to Archie getting the title prince. So she doesn't care if he is called a prince or not. She's just worried about his safety. But the real kicker is that once Prince Charles becomes king, as are the rules, Archie will automatically become a prince. And then Meghan said, even with that convention that automatically makes all grandchildren of the monarch a prince or princess, they said, the institution said, I want to change the convention for Archie. And the big overarching question is why? She added that it was particularly concerning since Archie will be, and his sister will be the first members of color in the family that aren't going to have titles in the same way that the other grandchildren do have, which is strange and screams racism. I'd really like to see someone argue that it isn't racism. They definitely have a hard time arguing that him not having a title doesn't have to do with the color of his skin and him being mixed race, especially since a family member made a comment about it. And I find it even more disrespectful that Meghan says that none of this was explicitly said to her. Everything came through Prince Harry, and she heard everything secondhand. She wasn't present for those conversations. It makes me feel like they didn't have the courage to say that to her, or that they didn't respect her enough to tell her to her face. So we've reached part 4, Meghan's declining mental health. This is the part that was the most painful to watch for me, having dealt with mental health for a long time myself. So Meghan talks about being controlled by the institution, and she says that they didn't allow her to do anything. They didn't allow her to go out and visit friends, go out to lunch or dinner. Everything that she did was highly controlled, and this was in order to keep things looking a certain way for the media. And she says that while she was pregnant, she began having suicidal thoughts. She told Oprah that these thoughts were clear and scary because she was starting to plan out ways to harm herself. And this was something she had never experienced prior to entering her position with the royal family. She told Harry, and this became the catalyst for their departure from the royal family, They both asked for help and were repeatedly denied. They were told that this level of hardship is normal and that Meghan really just needed some time to adjust. And that is so sad to me. I can't even imagine asking for help and being denied by the people who are supposed to protect you. She has a quote that says, I was told that I couldn't get help, that it wouldn't be good for the institution. I went to one of the most senior people to get help, and I share this because there were so many people who were afraid to voice that they needed help, and I know how hard it is to not just voice it, but to also be told no. When she went to Human Resources, they said, "My heart goes out to you because I see how bad it is, but there's nothing we can do to protect you because you're not a paid employee of this institution." So, interestingly enough, they could control her life to the point that she couldn't go out or do anything with her friends, but they couldn't help her because she wasn't a paid employee of the institution. Yikes. I can't even imagine. My heart truly hurts for Meghan, and I feel like they truly let her down. She says that her biggest regret is believing the institution when they said that she would be protected, because she truly believed them, and she didn't know what to do once she realized that their best interest was for them, for the institution, and not for her as a person. My final thoughts on this interview is that you should really see it for its entirety. I think there is a lot of truth spilled in such a gracious, honorable way. Meghan and Prince Harry were very sweet, and they did not throw anyone under the bus. They told their truth in a way that was respectful of everyone involved. Oprah did a really good job of asking questions and making sure that we got the answers that we needed. I think that Harry and Meghan really did their best to bow out gracefully, and I'm so glad to see that they are living in America and that they are happy and healthy and thriving. They really deserve that after such a horrible time trying to adjust to royal life. I really believe they did the best they could, and their best just wasn't recognized, and they didn't have the support that they needed, so they did what they had to do. They left a toxic situation. Everything I said was my opinion, and that's that. This is the end of the video. Here is my finished makeup look. If you enjoyed videos like this where I do my makeup and talk about a current topic, I love videos like this, and I would be willing to make some more. Go ahead and leave me a comment down below letting me know what you want me to talk about next, and I will see you next time. Bye.